By the shores of Gitche Gumee, by the shining big sea water, stood the wigwam of Nokomis, daughter of the moon Nokomis. Dark behind it rose the forest, rose the black and gloomy pine trees, rose the firs with cones upon them, bright before it beat the water, beat the clear and sunny water, beat the shining big sea water. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote The Song of Hiawatha in 1855, set on the dramatic shoreline of Lake Superior. The epic poem relates the adventures of the Ojibwe warrior Hiawatha and his forbidden love of a Dakota woman, Minnehaha. Today, 168 years later, Lake Superior still beckons the adventurous. Join us as we circle Lake Superior for 1,600 miles of spectacular shoreline, dark forests, excellent scenery, and good fellowship.
Well, here we are at White House, Whitefish Point, the Shipwreck Museum, and we're going to get ready to start doing a nice walking tour.
There's something about the light by the lakes like this. It's just so sparkly.
Everything's so much cleaner.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So I think we need to buy a ticket.
And here are the guys.
Turn around, look at me.
Hi, Mikey.
Hi, sir. There you go.
Hey, Coop.
Sir.
Hi.
Hi.
Then Wally.
Whitefish Bay.
I don't think I'm going to get a ticket, guys. I think I'm just going to...
I think I'll take my own picture first, say, change here. Inside the museum. Timbers from the shipwreck of the Independence. ship's bell. An anchor. Fresnel lens. For lighthouses. Artifacts from the raising of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Lifeboat artifacts from the Edmund Fitzgerald. And here, coming up, is the bell that everybody talks about. This is the beach at the Whitefish Point. Back to the museum area. And Mr. Sikora.
As we rode westbound for Marquette, the skies turned gray, the temperature dropped, and the rains began. Luckily, we were prepared for this with Gore-Tex gear, but we didn't realize how important that would be in the coming days when rain became the norm rather than the exception. Day 3 begins with a tour of the Quincy Copper Mine, which ran from 1846 through 1945. This was a very interesting way to start the day. Tours are conducted deep into what was the world's longest mine shaft. No thank you. It's a bit of a cloudy day here at Eagle Harbor. But the road's been dry and the traffic's been minimal. It's really been a good ride. And the beach is deserted. It's gorgeous. We continued north along Michigan Route 26 en route to Eagle Harbor. Along the west shoreline, there are lots of scenic pull-offs, and we tried to stop at most of them. The scene is remote and accessible and an easy pull-off for motorcycles. Route 26 is the main tourist route heading up the Houghton Peninsula, and traffic is heavier than previous, with delivery trucks, campers, RVs, and even cyclists on what must be a long, remote ride. Hungry for lunch, no trip to Eagle Harbor is complete without a stop at the famous Tamarack Inn. Homey and rustic, the Tam is the high point of Upper Peninsula cuisine. As we leave Eagle Harbor, we continue north on Michigan 26. In less than 2 miles, the road turns to dirt, slowing our progress substantially. With over 200 miles to go today, we reluctantly decide to abandon the dirt section and get back on a paved road to arrive in Houghton before dinner. This turns out to be a sound decision, as the road down the east side of the peninsula takes us through forested curves and great riding. The weather here has given us a break, and we make good time down the east side of the Houghton Peninsula into Hancock for dinner. On Route 13, we pass through Bayview, Wisconsin, an eclectic village of 487 residents, featuring hip restaurants, quaint shops, art galleries, and bed and breakfast hotels. It was a very inviting lunch stop, but we had many miles to go and elected to press on.
Well, here we are, arrived at Arrowstitch. A couple have gone ahead.
We leave the Duluth morning traffic behind and head north on Minnesota Highway 61. As on previous days, rain followed us up the coast. Although the weather was annoying, it's very typical of Lake Superior during shoulder seasons. This played havoc on shipping in the 1800s before radar was invented. Lake Superior is a veritable graveyard of ships that fell victim to bad weather and low visibility. Consequently, high-power lighthouses were built along the shoreline to improve the safety of commercial shipping. The most famous is here at Split Rock.
This is the Split Rock Lighthouse. And we're going in the visitor center, buy some tickets, and take a look at the lighthouse itself. Well, we're up here at Split Rock Lighthouse. And that's the beast right there. This is a fantastic sight. This is looking back towards the 3 houses where the people lived that serviced the lighthouse. Worked up here. They stayed here during the summers and went other places during the winter, except for the actual guys that worked here. The family stayed here. In the 1930s, they started coming up and staying. Those walls are 3 layers of brick thick, and they have a air gap between them. That's what they use for insulation. But even so, they said during the winter they used to have to go down to the water and chip through the ice to get in the lake to bring water up to the houses. And you can see that it's quite a ways down there to the water. This is looking back towards Duluth around this cove. I don't know if you can see those people on the beach down there. There's a little white dot of the house, and on the beach just this side there's some people. They say this light can reach 22 miles due to its height above the lake and the curvature of the earth.
North of Thunder Bay, Ontario, the geology changes significantly as we rode through the Laurentian Plateau. Some of the oldest exposed granite on Earth, predating even the dinosaurs, is shaved clean by millenniums of ice ages. Mines for precious stones, silver, and gold are scattered along the route. The road is chiseled out of hard rock with dramatic cliffs on one side and water on the other. It's quite remote, and there are few gas stations, necessitating careful planning to avoid fuel stress. After 250 miles of fairly easy riding, we reach our layover destination in Marathon, Ontario. It's across the highway from a small airport, and it's so remote that a sign on the motel door warned visitors to close and lock the door behind them as they arrive, to prevent the bears from roaming the hallways. The adjacent town of Marathon has 3,100 residents, and its economy is supported by 3 local gold mines. It's so remote that the last noteworthy civic event was in 2010, when the Olympic torch passed through Marathon on its way to Vancouver.
And to get this information, and there's the big Canada goose.
Leaving Marathon, our next stop was Agawa Rock, where Ojibwe artists left pictographs more than 500 years ago. This is an important local tourist stop and has ample parking and plenty of hikers. To actually view the pictographs requires hiking down a challenging trail through the woods. The trek itself is a beautiful experience, especially on the calm, mossy tranquility of an early autumn day like today. The leaves have just started turning and the forest floor is emblazoned with wild mushrooms and lichens. The whole setting is timelessness itself, an impression heightened by the fact that these geological features have been here for millions of years.
Well, here we are at Pictograph Rocks.
400-meter trail is rugged, descending 30 meters throughout deep chasms and rocky terrain.
Have you been there? It's gone down there?
Caution, trail and sloping ledge are slippery when wet. Sturdy footwear should be worn. Okay, you guys are good.
We're wearing sturdy footgear.
Very sturdy.
Response to injuries and illnesses usually do things like suck it up. Correct. She did not take the patch at 101. An injury had occurred.
They're talking about down on the water.
Yeah, where they get washed.
Down on the water.
I'm getting you a scary part there.
You see why they say that if you move.
I got a picture where the people down there were on the side.
And I haven't had this much exercise in a long time.
Come on. You got your stretching in? You're warmed up?
No.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hi.
How was it?
Good,
Good, actually.
Yeah.
The Manitou's still down there.
Yeah.
We only looked at it.
And so the intrepid group continues the journey. It doesn't really show it, but this is about a 30-degree decline.
Oh, Camelback?
Well, yeah, Camelback too.
Camelback, we got to the rock rest area, that's where ice skating. Stubby here, I think it took him like an hour to get to the
Holy crap, how are we getting down this thing?
Wow, the piece is loose right here.
You get to a big rock and you slide on this face.
She said the rocks were slippery.
This is not.
And if you want to see these pictographs, you have to walk down there on those rocks and hang on to those ropes. And the rock is slippery. We're not going to do that.
The water is low enough you can.
The trail goes right there is level, so you can see where the trail goes.
We head south towards Sault Ste. Marie and realize that our adventure is just about over. Our last stop was customs at the border, which was painlessly easy, except when it began to rain.
Welcome to the United States. We're in traffic.
In the past 8 days, we've seen so many things that are best appreciated by the in-the-moment connectivity that motorcycle travel brings. We hope you enjoyed our video and look forward to bringing you with us on future two-wheeled adventures.